Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's episode of Intuitive Angling, and I really appreciate you guys coming by the channel to hang with me a little bit and watch the video. Always much appreciated of that. Guys, today I'm going to show you my secret lure modification you can use for hard lures like crankbaits and jerkbaits and glide baits. And you hear people on YouTube talk about secret modifications all the time, but this is truly one that I have sort of kept to myself a little bit. I've talked part of it, but I've never been into full detail about this modification. We're going to do it in today's video and sort of give you guys some tips and advice on when this specific modification is really productive. Also, guys, before we get started, just our daily housekeeping tips here that you guys just love to hear and are probably sick and tired of hearing. I just want to invite everybody to please consider subscribing here to Intuitive Angling if you haven't had a chance. It's a good way to support the channel. And also, if you use the links I put in the description for like my solar sunglasses link, the Fish the Moment Lake Map breakdowns we're doing, and specifically my tackle warehouse link. If you all bookmark and use those links, that's a really good way to give back to the channel for good fishing tips like this I'm going to give you guys right now. Much appreciated. Okay guys, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to modify a color of, I'm going to modify a hard bait here. This specific situation, I'm going to use a megabass jerkbait here, but you can use it on any hard lure. You can use it on a crankbait, glide bait, jerkbait, anything like that. One of the things that you do have to have on it is you need to have a lure that has a clear finish on it, as far as it's clear once you get the paint off of it. Because if you use a solid finish, like one of those pearl looking, where the plastic's like a pearly white looking, it's not going to work the way I'm going to talk about. And a lot of you guys are going to say, God, I can't believe that you just scraped up a $22 megabass lure. But I don't do, most of the 95% of the time I use the stock colors with megabass because they're freaking awesome. But this one particular modification, it's just something I came up with by myself that works really good in some situations I'm going to describe. So anyway, guys, this is what it looks like before. This is the stock megabass color I'm going to talk about. And what I've done, I've already, to save some time, I've taken the same bait. This was the exact same bait that I'm holding here, and I've scraped all the finish off with a knife here. I got the back and everything scraped off to make it clear. Now sometimes scraping it like this and having a rough scraped finish on there is really good for a topwater lure. If you guys have a clear topwater lure, doesn't matter if it's a wake bait or a glide or a walking topwater or a popper, anything like that. If you have a clear water situation, a lot of times I'll scrape it and just leave it like this, just leave it clear with nothing on it. But though I want to show you how to modify this for this specific situation I'm going to talk about. So the first thing that I do with it, guys, is I'm going to take a chartreuse magic marker, chartreuse spike at dye pin here, and I'm going to paint the sides of it chartreuse a little bit. I'm sort of going to go over it lightly with it. And once I do go across it a little bit, I'm going to take it and I'm going to rub my finger in there a little bit. So it's sort of going to blend that chartreuse in. And this is a translucent chartreuse. I've done this before. You guys have seen me do this, but I haven't done the full modification. So it sort of gives it that nice little chartreuse glow there. Now the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to take a can of black spray paint here, and I'm going to lightly spray paint across the back of it. Now when you do this, guys, you don't want to apply the spray paint very thick. You want to hold it a long way away from it and just sort of lightly go over it. I don't want the back like super dark with it. So I'm going to put just like a light coating where it's not all the way through. So you can see now I've got this chartreuse with this black looking back. And then the final thing I'm going to do, I'm going to take some red fingernail polish here. And I use red fingernail polish all the time, guys. I put gills on almost every lure that I have. And I'm just going to trace the gill outline on this Megabass Vision 110 here. Give it some gills. Guys, I have caught so many fish on this setup here. So this is what the final product looks like when you're done with it. Look at that. Is that not fishy looking? That's all done by just scraping your paint off just by yourself. And here's the exact bait that I just did that with. Now, This modification, guys, you can do this on like I said, a glide bait, a crankbait, or a jerk bait. And when you put that black back on there and that translucent chartreuse side on there, there's two situations this is going to work really, really good, or actually three situations. Number one, it's a smallmouth killer. If you guys are fishing up north, all the Great Lakes up there for summertime smallmouth, I promise you, you modify your jerk bait like this and you'll rip them. The other situation is if you're fishing some type of a off-colored water situation that's not real dirty, so water visibility sort of in that 2 to 3 foot range, just for a traditional largemouth lake, traditional impoundments, whether it be my favorite's like a square bill crankbait to doing this, but a square bill crankbait or the jerk bait. The jerk bait works really good in these situations also if you've got that 2 to 3 foot of visibility, especially if you got a little bit of overcast with it. Same with the crankbait. And finally, guys, when you make this modification on like a walking topwater or a wake bait, especially, a wake bait's my favorite. Guys, they will hammer this thing. But tell me if that's not fishy looking, man. It's just something, it's what the deal is with this, guys. It's something that you can't get from the factory. I mean, it's something, when you create something like this, you know that you're the only one using it because you can't buy them like that. And I've caught so many fish on that it's sort of my confidence go-to, where if I'm catching them on, any other specific color, and I know there's some fish in an area, I'll usually always modify one like this to see if I can get them to light up on a little bit better. But anyway, guys, simple modification. Give it a try. Crankbait, glide bait, topwater, jerk bait, all works the same. And don't be afraid to experiment with different colors. I mean, you might try like a brown back or a green back. You might put some little bit of orange on there. You maybe put some orange on the belly. Just experiment with it. Try to create some type of colors that that nobody else has, and it definitely makes a big difference to those highly pressured fish. So hope it helps out. We'll talk later.